The Drunk Sports Podcast.
YouTube. What is going on, fellas? You've clicked on a little DSP media. I'm walking into my house. You are liking this video, subscribing to this thing that you just clicked on. This is, of course, brought to you by the golf pros at the Highlands Performance Golf Center. Tell them that the folks at the Drunk Sports Podcast sent you while you're out there. They might even give you a bucket of balls to hit on the driving range. Yeah, they might actually do that. And news and notes, it's right here, right now. Again, like, subscribe. And oh, by the way, if you need some help with your golf swing, they can help you. So if your golf swing starts with a high leg kick and ends with a one-handed finish, well, they can try and straighten you out so you don't look like a hack next time you're out there with your boss. Or if you love the way you swing the golf club and think that's awesome, you can still go hit golf balls. And for the wintertime, when that comes back around, I got some heated teas for you to be smacking the balls around on. So check that out. But right now, you've clicked on news and notes, so let's get to the program.
All right,
I will watch those, promise.
Which brings us to this.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Red. Thank you, me, for making us sound shitty. News and Notes is where I search the World Wide Web for the weird.
Internets.
And by God, I found it. All right, so we're going to start off with, well, we're going to York.
York?
Yeah, so there's a York pub that had to close. The establishment in the city have reported temporary closures due to doo-doo.
What?
So
Doo-doo?
Apparently somebody went to this pub, had them some Yorkshire pudding or whatever, and then it caused the largest turd ever to be produced by a human, according to witnesses.
What? I challenge that.
This turd shut down their entire sewage pipeline connecting to this pub, which caused it to be closed because it not only shut down that particular toilet, it shut them all down.
We have live audio, Colby, of that happening.
Which, as soon as the next day when you read this in the news that the pub you went to the night before is closed down, and you also know that you may have felt a lot more relieved after you left the restroom than when you went into it. Do you announce to everybody that it was your turd? You do, right? You immediately go to I don't know, Scottish Facebook, Scottbook, and you post up there, "Hey everybody, it was my turd." Just letting you know. So that everybody else can kilt it. I don't know, whatever they do. And so there you go. So go on Scottbook and tell everybody about your turd. That shouldn't be a drop.
Did you fart?
So we're going to go from there to Worcester or Worcester, however you want to. It's in Massachusetts. I still can't say that word on the radio, but I can say it here. So there was a police chase as a woman that was driving a stolen pickup truck was running from officers around 8:45 a.m. Now, what ended this police chase, which, it lasted for a good 35 minutes, this police chase did. What ended it wasn't the flat tires. It wasn't the nail strip that caused the truck to be pulled over. It wasn't her getting tired and just jumping out and trying to run across somebody's lawn. No, during the middle of the police chase, 38-year-old, where the hell's her name? 38-year-old Gardell. That's her name.
They're going to say Betty White.
Joanna Gardell ended the police chase because she passed by a McDonald's and really wanted to go through the drive-thru.
Huh.
She's being chased.
How hungry was she?
She's being chased by a group of Massachusetts police. sees the golden arches and says, "This is worth going to jail for. I need an Egg McMuffin."
Huh.
Not spike strips, high-speed chase through Worcestershire, Massachusetts. And yes, it was ended because she was hungry. Needless to say, once they finally got her detained, she was also might have been under the influence of alcohol and or drugs. Because, police chase, high speed.
America.
Ends in a drive-through. So there's that. We'll go from there to, because we have to do this because we just got past July 4th. We're going to Georgia, surprisingly, not Florida, because Trevor White, him and his buddies were drinking and were shooting off fireworks. And, of course, in Georgia, as well as rural parts of Texas, Florida, everywhere else, you're not only going to shoot off fireworks, but you're going to have to shoot off fireworks that have their own mounting tube and basically can blow up a small part of your America by celebrating America.
Did you say mounting tube?
Yeah, well, those big tubes that they put the big, huge, like cannon buster fireworks in.
Yep.
So Trevor decided it'd be a great idea to walk up to the firework tube and pick it up while the fuse was lit for the next bombardment of national celebration. He picked it up and put it over his head like an Abraham Lincoln top hat. So the firework went off, but it was blocked by his head being partially in the tube's back end, which, needless to say, he John Bon Jovi'd that son of a bitch who went out in a blaze of glory.
Shut down.
If I just want to see Trevor White's obituary. I'm sorry, yes, he passed, but he also wore a fireworks gigantic tube as a hat. That's just asking for to leave this earth. I just want to see the obituary and how they make good of how smart of a human being he was. Because somebody's going to try that, even though he wore fireworks, as in the fireworks that you see shot over a lake to impress a crowd. He wore that launching tube as a hat, and you just don't survive that. I mean, if fireworks can take off an NFL pass rusher most of his fingers, and it's a small one, imagine what a big one can do to a normal human's head.
Yikes.
So there's that. Do you think that his friends that were drunk and convinced him to do that maybe regretted it at the end of it?
Yeah, I would hope so.
Having to explain to the fire marshal and cops that, he did that on his own. No, there was nobody daring him to wear that like Abraham Lincoln
There was
hat.
no coercing.
That didn't happen. We didn't accidentally kill our friend. Good God, if you needed a reason to drink, I guess that would be one of them at that point.
Who needs a reason to drink?
Let's go to Seattle where, so apparently if you break into somebody's apartment while they're there wielding an axe and also a hatchet and a spiked glove, as long as you have a history of mental illness, they cannot give you any kind of penance. So Stanley Dion Red, he's 46, walks into this lady's apartment. The door was locked. He broke his way through. He had an axe, a hatchet, and a spiked glove on his hand. When he did, he was mumbling a bunch of stuff, and he was swinging an axe and a hatchet, which caused, of course, the lady there to break out her gun and tell him he needed to go on. Police go up. They find him in an alley sitting beside the apartment. They look at him, and they go ahead and take him on in, to which he was then released because mentally he didn't know how or where he was. He was released.
Lance calls that a Tuesday.
He wasn't sent to a mental facility. He wasn't broken down for a psychiatric review. The guy that walked into a house with an axe and a hatchet and a spiked glove was just sent back home. So I wanted to say that because hopefully not next time on the news, I get to tell you how Stanley Dion Red is now, passed or was shot for being on somebody else's property carrying other assortments of weapons.
You mean Dion Red? Dion Red.
Just hey, try and help people, or at least stop them from breaking into apartments. Sorry, just saw that and just had to go ahead and throw that out there. I mean, if you're going to run into somebody's home with a gun or with a hatchet and everything else, you might want to try and get them evaluated. And finally, let's all thank one hotel worker. It's a housekeeper, because let's go over to Chicago. Housekeeping. Where at the West Chicago Lake Shore Hotel, this is overlooking one of the routes where they're going to have a big July 4th celebration, the Gold Coast Hotel. There was disaster averted because one of the employees, the housekeeper, when peering into a room, saw a .308 caliber rifle with a high-powered scope and a laser sight attachment inside a 12th floor room. This was placed against the window while the guy went out to go get some ice. The lady saw the gun set up and alerted police. There was bullets that were in this actual gun that were ready to be fired, laid up against a window in a hotel room that was overlooking a July 4th party that was about to happen. Housekeeper looks in and says, you know what? That might be out of place. Come to find out, yes, that particular guy had bad intentions.
Very much out of place.
So you always end up talking about how good the housekeeper is by what they're doing and how clean it is, or you might complain because you think something's missing. Well, here's one housekeeper that probably saved a lot of people's lives. Thank you, housekeeper, for saying what you did. I think I need more lemon pledge. And that's news and notes, everybody.
Thank you, Colby Sapp. I think it's safe to assume that housekeeper was not Chris Farley from Tommy Boy.
No.
Housekeeping?
No, that was not. That was not what was going on.
You want me to check you off?
No, I don't. Never ask me in a Mickey Mouse tone that question ever again. Swear to God.
Any toes? Housekeeping?
Me fluffy pillow.
Me fluffy pillow? Housekeeping? I love this show. Congratulations to the Tampa Bay Lightning.
And Scooter Magruder, because that's apparently his hockey team.
It is. I don't know why. He's never explained why. For their second consecutive Stanley Cup win. By the way, though, Dallas Stars still Western Conference champions because there was no Western Conference team in the Stanley Cup Finals. Right?
I mean, that checks out.
Right?
Yeah.
Stars get it for the next year.
There you go.
When they'll
go ahead and print the T-shirts now.
When they'll miss the playoffs probably again. Till we get a real head coach.
Yeah. Or they could surprise you. Yeah.
They already did once.
The Drunk Sports Podcast.